Hey guys, Caroline again, Leanne's daughter. Yeah, so funny story. Yesterday when she asked me to go live, I told her afterwards that I would need more notice. And she said, okay, what's a good day? And I was like, Wednesdays are good. And then she texted me this morning and said, want to go live today? She didn't get the memo, I guess, on the notice. But here we are. I'm here again, a little more prepared. Have the hubs holding the phone so you can actually see me as I do whatever I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a recipe from my blog, Inherited Salt. It's my fried garlic sesame chili oil, and it is one of my favorite things. It's like liquid gold. It turns garlic into like these tiny fried crispy little bits that you can enjoy on most anything. Oh, here we go. I also have bread in the oven, which I'm excited to show you. And I have two dogs arguing. They're fine, they do this all the time, they're siblings. Okay. Hey. Okay, I can get her out. Hard with oven mitts. My loaf. This is my second loaf today. I made a big batch of dough that made 4 loaves, so this will be going to a friend. Here's a little bit from my first loaf this morning, and you can see the crumb right there, which looks really good.
They want to know if you can put up the link to your blog. Is it on the bottom?
Link to my, yeah, there's a link in the caption for this video. It links to my fried garlic sesame chili oil recipe that we're gonna go ahead and make now. But I do have a blog post on sourdough, which is what the bread is. All right. So for this, it's a very easy recipe. The only frustrating part about it is you have to peel cloves of garlic whole. Usually if I'm just chopping garlic to cook with it, I like to smash it to get the skins off, but you can't smash it with this recipe because you want the nice pretty whole clove, and so it just takes a lot of love. It takes a lot of time to peel all the cloves of garlic you're gonna need. But it's worth it. It's kind of meditative. Your hands will smell like garlic for probably a week. But I just trim off the little bottom. I like to use my mandolin for this. You can thinly slice with a sharp knife. I just happen to have this, so that's what I'm going to use. Please be careful. Watch your fingers. Don't cut them. I've cut mine more times than I can count on here. It makes my husband nervous every time I do it. Okay, a little bit. So there we have it. We just have this bowl. I prepped some before coming on here because it takes a little bit of time. Then we're gonna get the heat. We're gonna heat up a skillet over medium-high heat. You need a cup of olive oil. And then the only other ingredient is a tablespoon of red chili flakes and black sesame seeds, which you can see right in there. So, I'm just gonna let this guy heat up. How's everyone's day? Does anyone want an embarrassing story of Leanne? Have many. I was raised by her after all. Olive oil. I like to use extra virgin, but use whatever you have on hand. Here, this is my old jar of my fried garlic sesame chili oil. And the cool thing about this recipe is that it makes garlic shelf stable. So shelf for at least a month. I've had them sit for longer than a month and it still tastes really good. The garlic's still really crispy. And if you happen to have like more oil than garlic, you get this really beautiful infused, kind of spicy, nutty oil that's great for cooking or great for drizzling on top of whatever. And a lot of people ask me what to put this on top of. I love it on soup, stew, pasta, rice, eggs, pizza.
Everything.
Savory porridge. Yeah, like just put it on everything. Eat it just plain with a spoon. Whatever you want to do. It's so good. There's really no bad way to use it. Roasted vegetables. It's really great. So you want your oil to get hot. You want it to kind of shimmering. And a great way to test to see if it's hot enough is you can kind of hit it with water Nope, not quite ready. We're almost there. It'll sizzle.
Your mother would like you to show them how to safely use a mandolin.
Safely. Oh, well, I just did that, Mom. I just did it. Just don't get your fingers here. This is crucial for safety. My mandolin also came with like a little thing you can press the veggie down with to keep your fingers out of it. Because the garlic is so small, I never use it. Like, it's great for like potatoes or bigger things, or like fennel or a big onion, but with the garlic, I'm just worried. I just like to see it with my hands. I should get like those little gloves. There's like gloves that protect you from getting cut. Might be worth me investing in some of those. All right, let's try the water test again. Ooh, see a little sizzle? It's usually more exciting, but that's fine. We'll take it. All right, and I have this little handy dandy wooden spatula. It's probably one of my favorite little kitchen tools. It's from Early Wood. You can find them on Amazon. I have them linked on my little shop on my site. All right, here goes the garlic. Last little piece is hanging on. Okay, now you just want to make sure all the garlic gets submerged. And now you just watch it like a hawk. It can burn really easily, and it's all about pulling it out the right moment. I'm gonna turn my heat down just a little. And I more or less leave it alone. Sometimes I'll give it a stir because sometimes the edges will burn faster than the middle. So you just you sit and watch. Usually takes 3-4 minutes, depending on your stove. Yeah. I have burnt it before. I mean, like I said, it's easy to do. The only bummer when you burn it is the garlic isn't pleasant to eat anymore. However, the oil is still really nice and really infused, and so you still get nice garlicky, kind of spicy oil, even if you burn it.
It's a good Leanne story.
Oh, a good Leanne story.
She's here, so she would like to know.
She would like to know?
She didn't ask for it, but I know she would.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of some of my favorites. Yeah, let's get up in there. Well, we were homeschooled, and my mom always wore her hair like in this French twist thing that had a big poof in the front. She actually still does it from time to time, which I always love to see because it's like the mom I grew up with. And she always had like this kind of hideous blue fleecy thing. We called it Blue Fuzzy. Very innovative name. But she wore it like every day, and that and like sweatpants. And we rented this house on this farm, and there was foxhounds that stayed in the kennel and behind the barn. And the houndsman would take them on walks. He took care of them. We would help out sometimes, but there was one, like occasionally other local farmers, if a cow or a horse died, they would bring the carcass to the farm. It's pretty graphic. Like I said, we were homeschooled. It's fine. And they would cut the hide, like outline the hide, hook it to like the end of a tractor, and then pull the hide off, and then release the hounds to consume the dead animal. Well, one day the houndsman let my mom do the tractor bit. So she was up on this tractor pulling the hide off. I think it was a cow. And she backed it into a ditch. Like, it wasn't a ditch, it was a kennel. Like, there was kennels down below where she was like reversing, like taking the tractor, and it was like these big cement in-ground kennels, and she just went right into the big kennel. She was not asked to peel any more dead creatures.
I don't think I'd want to do that anyways. All right, how are we looking?
We're looking good. Yeah, you want to get in there? You can see. I mean, it smells amazing. So what we want, we're waiting for this to just get like barely golden blonde, like barely. Like it won't be crispy yet because it will keep cooking in the hot oil, and so but because it's so thinly sliced, if you leave it over the heat, it'll just burn and it'll get all char and bitter taste. Nice and crispy all the way through, but we're not quite there yet. Getting close though.
Nice.
Yeah, I wish I had. If you want to get in, I'll show you the color.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see we're getting some pieces that are kind of like this barely blonde, brown, golden tone, and that's what we want. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn off the heat, and I'm gonna add the red chili flake and the sesame seeds. They're all gonna go in.
How much chili flake and sesame seeds did you do?
It's 1 tablespoon of each. And if you're sensitive to spicy things, you can tone down the chili flake. And if you don't have sesame seeds or like I said, it'll get nice and crisp all the way through as it sits in the oil. And then after a couple days, the oil turns like a really pretty orangey red.
Yeah, you
The
show
chili
that other
flakes.
one again.
Yeah.
So this is what it currently looks like.
Yeah, it'll be, I'll get a spoon. Let's see. So, I mean, this is a few weeks old. But, yeah, it gets nice. And, like, the garlic from this. Like, it's still, let's see. Yep,
Yeah.
still crispy. Still tastes amazing. Alright. And honestly, I make this all the time, and I'll usually just add a fresh batch to the jar. I always like to keep on hand. Sorry, my dogs are very vocal right now. They don't know why we're not paying attention to them. Alright. It's getting golden. Yeah, okay, so bread, making sourdough. Fox, no thank you. So I've been making a lot of, Fox, no thank you. I've been making a lot of discard loaves. And so I've been learning from Tara Jensen. She used to have a bakery in North Carolina, I think kind of beside Asheville. And now she lives in Virginia. I don't know if she currently has a bakery or not. But she's been doing a lot of Instagram tutorials on sourdough and baking. So I've been following her. I've had my starter for like a month. I'll grab them. Here they are. This is Cordelia, my firstborn. This is her son, little Sebastian. I fed them a couple hours ago, so they're starting to rise and get bubbly. But yeah, so I've been making bread, and I was first doing a discard loaf, which is basically just making the dough and then adding the starter straight to the dough, and then, you know, letting it proof and fold it throughout the day and all that jazz. But apparently a true sourdough loaf has leaven, and leaven you make with your starter the day before you make the dough, and it's basically like making one big starter on its own. And a lot of people have been asking me the difference between leaven and starter, and I'm still trying to understand all the differences, but essentially, like, leaven allows you to experiment more with the different flour and water ratios without hurting your original starter, because you can keep your starter for, you know, forever. I know King Arthur flour has a starter you can buy that comes from like a starter that's over 100 years old. Tara, the gal I've been learning from, she has a starter that's 7 years old. Like, you don't want to hurt your starter, so you use it to create a leaven that will then become your bread. And like, this is a lot bigger than my other loaves have been. And so, yes, I'm sure there's maybe someone that's a little more well-versed in baking and bread, because it's an art form, it's a science, it's very sciencey. It's, you know, with cooking, I can kind of do whatever and I understand how all the elements work, but this, you can't really mess around. You have to have all the measurements precise. Anyways, that's my little segment on sourdough. And yeah, let's come back over here and see. Trying to find like good light.
And over the door.
Yeah. Follow me. I'm gonna step right outside here. You can kind of see, it got all crispy, golden, and delicious. And yeah, that's it. That's fried garlic sesame chili oil. Liquid gold, something you should keep on your counter always.
And yeah, if they want to know more about bread, maybe we could do another video on that if they want to. Maybe they can comment.
Yeah, maybe I can try to time a video better where I can show you like maybe feeding the starter or folding the dough, or it's just hard to time it all out because there's like big time gaps between everything. But I'll see if I can figure it out, and hopefully we'll come back to that. But anyways, thanks for joining me again. Hopefully the next time I'm here, I'll have more than a few hours notice.